Holy shit, Sonic Mania is almost here. The actual Sonic the Hedgehog 4 we deserve. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog holds a special place in my heart. My mother bought my sister a Sega Genesis right before I was born in order to keep her busy while I was being an annoying baby. The second I developed the mental capacity to discern how the controller worked, I was spending my time losing lives and developing the habits that would lead me to waste my own. Sonic the Hedgehog became an obsession for me, leading me to decide that blue was my favorite color and Slowpoke should be euthanized. My father eventually bought me a Genesis and each Sonic game released on the system. So given the many hours I've wasted on the series, I thought it'd be cool to go back and see what I loved about each game, and what I would change now that I can think coherently. Sometimes. So, without further ado, let's get this, spin dash rolling. Get it? Because it's a spin dash, it's like a ball. Get the ball rolling. Sonic the Hedgehog begins the series with one of, if not the most well-known song in the franchise. Green Hill Zone's theme is fast and frantic, while still having grace and optimism. Basically everything Sonic should be. Yet, this first zone, really this entire game, is the most unforgiving one of the Genesis era. If you landed on any spikes 2 times in a row, you were just screwed. If you jumped and slightly missed some of the platforms, you would just straight fall into a barrier of death. Like on levels that you wouldn't even think that would be a thing. There was no spin dash, so you had to basically wait a full 5 seconds in order to reach top speed, which gets really annoying when they constantly put stuff in your path to slow you down. I mean, it's still a good game, don't get me wrong, it's just that the other games really refined the formula. However, if you are thinking about playing or replaying this game, I'd check out the iOS and Android port. It fixes a lot of the issues with the game and adds a spin dash, and the movement just feels better overall. It was rebuilt from scratch by Kristen Whitehead and Simon Thomley, who are both working on Sonic Mania. You know, I'm sure you already knew that because you're here, but if you didn't, some interesting tidbits. It's a really good remaster, so go check it out. Oh boy, now we're getting to the good stuff. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a step up from the first game in just about every aspect. We got the spin dash, fancy new sprites, a Kid Fox with 2 tails to follow us around and die every chance he gets. The level design has more of a build-up throughout the game this time around, with the levels gradually becoming more complex as the game progresses. Each level has a unique mechanic to it. Chemical Plant Zone has water to kill you, Aquatic Ruin Zone has water to kill you, Casino Night Zone has pinball, which, by the way, since when do we associate pinball with casinos? I've never seen a pinball machine I could make money on. I mean, oh well, at least the music's lit. Add to that the fact that the game has 13 zones with only 2 acts for most of them, and you can see why it's a lot of people's favorite Sonic game. You're in each area long enough to get the feel and have your fun, but short enough that the levels don't get stale. The game as a whole gets straight to the point and doesn't overstay its welcome. Unlike Sonic 3 and Knuckles, according to some people, but I don't know what the hell they're talking about since I can't get enough of that game. But more on that later. Sonic CD, the only game on this video that was released on a CD. I mean, at the time of release. You could put it in your car and play the music from the game like a CD. Specifically the US version, which I like more than the Japanese version, please don't hate me. Yes, even with the needlessly creepy boss theme. Despite the name, Sonic Compact Disc is not compact at all. I mean, phew, the levels are just massive. Everywhere you look, there's another path for you to take. They're much more vertical than most of the other games. Now, I know I said that the first Sonic game was the most unforgiving game of the Genesis era, and I still stand by that statement, but the bosses in this game are by far the hardest out of all the games. I mean, Jesus Christ, the pinball boss. I mean, it's the second boss in the game. I mean, I didn't die a ton, it just took forever. At least it's not casino themed this time. It's just a pinball themed level. The time mechanic's really cool, but I just don't have the patience to go through each level to find a spot that I can actually keep the speed needed to actually use it. Which you have to do in order to get the actual ending, because there are these weird robot machine maker things that have to be destroyed in the past of each level. I mean, the special stages are cool, although they're not as good as the ones in Sonic 2, but let's just go ahead and head on to the grand finale. Here it is, my favorite Sonic game of all time. No, not that one. God, the sprites, the atmosphere, the music, the level transitions. I mean, each level flows into the next one. It's got cutscenes. I mean, look at it. It's lit. Literally. Jesus Christ, everything's on fire. But it's okay, because you get all these cool power-ups. Bouncy bubble, lightning ball, fire ball. Now, I played this game as Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is how you should play it too, because it was meant to be the same game. But for some reason, they didn't know they couldn't fit it onto one cartridge. This game has a ton of content, including 14 zones that are longer than the previous games, yet still varied so they don't get old, and like 3 special stages. Each act in a zone is actually pretty different from one another while still keeping to the general theme of the zone. You can also play as Knuckles, which I never do because Sonic is the best, and I hate Aquatic Mine from Sonic Adventure 2, so Knuckles is forever ruined for me. I mean, unless he has that fucking cowboy hat from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Anyway, Sonic 3 and Knuckles just does it right for me. I love every single zone in this game. Each boss is just as unique as the zones, and if you're trying to keep yourself calm while waiting for Mania, I would recommend giving this game a playthrough. I mean, according to the elevator, Mania is the next logical step. Literally the only problem I have with this game is that at the end, they just inverted the sprite of the plane to make it go left and didn't change Sonic. It's completely backwards. They could have just flipped the Sonic around or just taken the Sonic out. It's just backwards. That makes no sense. It's just lazy. It's just lazy. Don't do that. It's stupid. Why? Why would you do that? Well, there you go. That's my quick little retrospective of the Genesis era Sonic games. Sonic 3D Blast doesn't count, so don't bring that up. What are some of your thoughts on the old games? What do you want to see return in Mania? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you liked the video. We have more Sonic stuff on the way, so until next time, this is Sam with Bitmap. You guys go scrape some Knuckles and catch some tails. Jesus.